the final resting place of Jed Ma'atasank, buried along the west bank of the Nile over 2,800 years ago. Now, over here...
Thank you so much for accompanying me. Thomas is playing golf with City Council.
Golf? I've been told the Chief Constable abhors the game.
Oh, he does. But it's better to be on the inner circle of the council than to be on the outside looking in. Look, that's Mr. Oliphant. He's Broadway producer, and that's Rosemary Kirby. She's the heiress to the Cyclone carpet sweeper fortune. It's a marvelous device.
Mechanical gadgets are a slippery slope, Mrs. Brackenreed. First, the machines work for us, but soon we'll be serving the machines, if we're not already.
What are you on about?
Well, take the telephone. We sit by it, wait for it, we rush to it when it calls. Are we not slaves to its power? Are we not shackled?
Is outgrowing its modest confines. That is why I have secured promises from the governments of Ontario, Canada, and Great Britain to establish a new home for Canada's finest artifacts. Soon, crowds from across the country will flock to see world-class exhibits of archaeology, geology, mineralogy, paleontology, and zoology, all under one roof.
Oh, my. What a wonderful fur.
Oh, I wouldn't touch that. Who knows what manner of mites call it home.
But we need your help. This weekend, we are hosting a fundraiser. Thank you to Mrs. Margaret Brackenreed and the Ladies Auxiliary for planning the gala.
Thank you.
As our most distinguished patrons, we offer you the first opportunity to be a part of the finest institution in Canada, the Royal Ontario Museum.
And what do you have in store beyond the current collection?
All manner of artifacts. But our newest and greatest treasure surely is the Star of Mandalay, the largest ruby in the world.
Oh, my. Can we see it?
It will be delivered later today, but it shall not be unveiled until the gala. Now, I've one last wonder to show you, if you will follow me. This is the Burglar Annunciator, a state-of-the-art silent alarm.
If a sensor is tripped at the museum, an automated call will be placed to the constabulary advising us of the break-in and of its precise point of ingress. This telephone will then ring, and this light will blink red, and the thief will be none the wiser.
Had this existed when I was working in New York, some of the biggest bank robberies in history might have been foiled.
Nothing before its time, Inspector.
I interviewed the guard. He's still a bit woozy.
Did he get a look at the intruder?
Unfortunately not.
Well, we've confirmed that the Annunciator was fully functional at the station house. And what's more, the intruder had the combination to the vault.
A curious conundrum.
Now, we'll have to check all of the sensors here to ensure that they're working properly.
The Star of Mandalay, it was supposed to be right here in the vault, and now it's gone. This is an indelible stain upon my reputation.
Mr. Cheney! There's no need to worry. An error in transit forms delayed the delivery of the ruby. It will be arriving later today.
Thank God for small miracles.
Who might you be?
Dr. Elise Tremblay. This is my department.
Detective William Murdoch, Toronto Constabulary. Detective Watts.
So, has anything been stolen?
I don't believe so.
I'll check with the other departments.
Perhaps you could show us where the intruder entered the building.
Only a Philistine would attempt a theft such as this.
A very clever Philistine. the intruder used a diamond-tipped glass cutter. What's more, this window is the closest to the junction box of the system's electrical circuit.
Meaning?
Meaning the intruder knew precisely where to enter the building in order to turn off the alarm the fastest.
Who would have access to that information?
The only copy of the Annunciator's schematics are here with the university.
Oh, my stars.
Then the thief must be someone working at the university. It's an inside job. Marx wrote extensively about this, replacing workers with machines.
The revolution comes in many forms.
And then one day, there'll be no need for us.
Let it rest, Detective. The museum founders have been calling all day, and I'm beginning to develop a migraine headache, and you are not helping.
Sir, the Annunciator works as intended. The perpetrator disabled the alarm at the junction box.
How could he have managed that?
Mr. Cheney has a copy of the Annunciator's schematics in his office.
Do you think he is involved?
Apparently, they were not kept under lock and key as I instructed. So whoever is responsible had intimate knowledge of the Annunciator system.
Sounds like an inside job.
Well, sir, Mr. Cheney is still speaking with other members of departments, but apparently nothing's been stolen.
The crook went through all the trouble of breaking in, but left empty-handed. I find that hard to believe.
Perhaps the ruby was the only intended target. It was scheduled to arrive yesterday, but then was delayed.
The ruby?
The Star of Mandalay, a very large Burmese ruby on loan from the Crown.
Detective, I want you and a small team of constables to oversee the delivery of the ruby and ensure its safety ahead of the gala.
Yes, sir.
There. Headache averted. You yourself have said treasure hunters are thieves. The British separated this jewel from its country of origin, and now they house it in a vault to prevent others from separating it from them. Isn't it ironic? Don't you think?
I really don't think that it's irony. However it arrived here, it is nevertheless our duty to ensure it does not get stolen. You're certain that the combination has been changed?
Sir, if it were to be stolen, exactly how much would a ruby like this be worth?
Oh, the Star of Mandalay, a one-of-a-kind gem on loan from the British Crown. Priceless.
Explains why we're getting overtime.
I don't believe overtime pay is involved.
You see, now, that might be irony.
Just can't shake the feeling that we're being watched by someone.
We've made the necessary repairs to the Annunciator, and all university personnel have been escorted out of the building. Who could be watching us?
We'll never ignore a gut feeling, sir.
Might be an idea from time to time, Henry.
Right. Detective Watts and I will check all of the other rooms to ensure the system is working properly. You keep an eye out. Oh, and Henry.
Yes, sir?
Don't touch anything.
Yes, sir. Hello there. Oh, yes.
The break-in may have a simpler solution than we realized, Detective.
Is that so?
The British invaded Burma in 1885 and deposed the king. Things grew frosty between the nations after British dignitaries refused to remove their shoes in the presence of the monarch.
What else?
The king, his pregnant wife, and children had mere hours to escape the palace, taking only what they could carry in their arms.
What? You seem well versed in all of this.
Well, I had dinner with Leopold Hudson when he was last in town. He knows Cheney from a dig in Egypt, which brings me to my theory as to the identity of our thief. Have we considered the king's descendants? Perhaps a disgruntled heir is looking to right this wrong?
Watts? Take a look at this.
When I was here yesterday with Mrs. Brackenreed, this pelt was on display in the Great Hall.
It appears to have been rolled up and fashioned into a sleeping pillow of some sort.
Professors do tend to work long hours.
Is anyone there?
Is it possible there's a draft?
With all of the exterior windows and doors locked, I think not. Henry! Someone has locked us in.
If someone has broken in, the constabulary must have been alerted by the Annunciator. They should be here soon. That works too.
Henry! Henry, what's all the smoke coming from?
Sir, I was patrolling the hall, minding my own business. Touching nothing, sir, as ordered, when smoke started billowing out of the sarcophagus, and then a mummy came to life.
Mummy came to life?
Yes, that's what I said.
Henry, it's impossible.
Well, someone was in there.
It's a homemade smoke bomb. Potassium nitrate and sugar. It wasn't a mummy that you saw, Henry. The thief was hiding inside the sarcophagus. The vault doesn't appear to have been breached.
Is that...
Yes, it is. The thief was going to blow the vault open.
I don't see any sign of him.
At least he didn't get the ruby, sir.
Right. But we didn't get him either. The explosive was made using a solution called nitrostarch. It would be more than enough to crack the seal.
If our man is this insistent on stealing a ruby of such renown, he must already have a fence lined up. I'll put in some calls to New York City.
Good point. I'll have constables look into known fences here in Toronto.
What happened to your hand?
It's a bruise I got in my fight with the mummy last night.
It doesn't look like any bruise I've seen.
Detective? Constable?
Miss Hart, could you take a look at Henry's hand?
I could, but I'm no doctor.
If he were dead, you'd be able to figure out what it is?
I can't be completely sure, but it looks like contact dermatitis.
Is it contagious?
To properly help, I'll need to know what caused it. Have you been in contact with anything unusual lately?
We've looked into known fences in the area. Nobody fits the bill. But the Hamilton Constabulary has questioned one woman regarding a number of armed robbers. Sirs?
Thank you, Roberts.
Very good, thank you.
Little Wolfie Mandelbaum, pickpocket extraordinaire, daughter of Mar Mandelbaum, notorious New York fence and bank heist financier.
You know these women?
I've arrested everyone in the family twice in every borough. I'd say so, yes.
The daughter doesn't appear to have any official arrests here in Canada. Is it possible she's cleaned up her act?
Not likely. Let's bring her in.
Wolfie Mandelbaum.
Detective William Murdoch.
Charmed. Albert, all this time apart, and this is how you call after me.
It's been 15 years, and it's Inspector Choi to you. Detective?
We're investigating the attempted theft of the world's largest ruby, the Star of Mandalay.
Sounds like quite the undertaking. How exactly do I fit into this?
We have reason to believe that you are involved.
Albert, really? What is this? I thought you believed in the rehabilitative nature of the New York State prison system. Can't a person change?
Miss Mandelbaum, we know that someone of your stature would at the very least have knowledge of the break-in. So if you weren't directly involved, it would behoove you to help us.
I own and operate a humble fruit market. I'm afraid I no longer associate with that sort.
Is that so?
Our constables have done some digging, and while your record in Canada may be spotless, my informant tells me you're running a crook college of sorts.
Apparently, you are training and financing a female crew of pickpockets, confidence women, and con artists.
Hearsay and slander. You'll never hold up in court.
Wolfie Mandelbaum, you'll tell us what you know right now, or I'll sit you in a cell so quickly you'll pass yourself going.
Nothing comes free in this world. If I were to tell you what I've heard, naturally, I would need something in return.
What might that be?
I hear there's a gala occurring at the university. Everybody who's anybody would be attending.
Absolutely not.
Don't behave like that. I'm a pussycat. Just a sucker for these kinds of affairs.
Sir, she may be our best chance at catching the thief.
Fine, but you won't leave my side.
Splendid. Now, I don't know for certain, but I hear tell the Panther has set up shop at a warehouse on Richmond, off Spadina.
The Panther, the master thief. I heard he was dead.
Oh, that's because coppers like you are meant to think that. Makes it easier for a body to move around unfettered.
How can we trust that you aren't the fence?
A long life in crimes is measured in small steps, not spectacular leaps. The juice simply isn't worth a squeeze, Detective. Albert, you can pick me up for the gala at 5. Try not to be tardy. I hate to be kept waiting. Ciao.
Albert. It would appear this Panther fellow has moved on already. He's been using this space to practice breaking into the university. After you. Very good. Photographs of the university. Even the vault.
A copy of the schematics for the Annunciator.
Oh, sir.
A rental agreement for the building.
Take a look at the name of the leasee.
Mr. Cheney, Doctor, Inspector Albert Choi, Toronto Constabulary.
And what is this about?
Dr. Tremblay, perhaps you should come down to the station house and explain a few things.
You're working with the Panther.
No, I'm not. I swear. I only rented the warehouse and provided the combination to the vault.
And the schematics for the burglar annunciator?
Yes, I provided him with those as well. But that's all I did.
Who is he?
I've never met him. He hasn't even called on the telephone. I dealt with him only through correspondence.
And through correspondence, you decided to aid and abet a master thief? Why? For money?
No, I told you I'm not his partner.
Then why?
I'm not some mastermind. I'm an imposter. Merely a scientist who lied about her credentials.
Which credentials?
I never received a PhD from Laval. In fact, I was never officially enrolled there.
Did Mr. Cheney not assess your references?
That's just it. I did everything required of a PhD under the guidance of my mentor, Dr. Simard. But the university's policies wouldn't admit me officially. Dr. Simard lied to Mr. Cheney for my benefit. Somehow, the Panther discovered this and used the information to blackmail me.
You would have lost your job at the university.
Not only me. Dr. Simard would surely lose his career as well. After all he's done for me, I couldn't let that happen.
So you chose to help a master thief to steal the ruby?
Initially, but I couldn't go through with it. I delayed the delivery in hopes it would scuttle his plan. It worked.
Even if what you say is true, Dr. Tremblay, you only succeeded in delaying his scheme. The Panther will not give up so easily.
So, what did you come in contact with that night?
I noticed that the horse statue looked like it might fall over, and I righted it. I found a bit of a smudge on one of the suits of armor, so I gave it a bit of a cleaning, and...
And?
I danced with the bear. But the sarcophagus, that's where he was hiding. I had to touch that.
Let's start there.
Police, crime scene, evidence.
Interesting.
What is it?
It's impossible to tell. It's certainly some sort of ancient grime. I wouldn't want to touch it. I'll need to look at it under a microscope. But we can't take scrapings from these antiquities.
Why not? All this is stolen anyway. We should have no qualms about reappropriating some scrapings in the name of medicine.
They might not like it.
Oh, they won't see a thing. Gentlemen, lady, query. That comely coquette Cleopatra, are the scholars certain she secreted herself in a sack to seduce Caesar?
Sir, I had constables keep an eye on Miss Tremblay's mailbox in case the Panther tried to connect with her.
No return address. It is time for us to meet face to face. 9 p.m., Windsor Hotel, room 303. I take it that's a Panther's signature. If he's written to her, then he doesn't know we've arrested her. We're one step ahead.
Perhaps.
You want me to do what?
You'll be taking on the persona of Dr. Elise Tremblay, a mineralogist at the University of Toronto.
And meeting with the Panther.
The jewel thief?
Yes.
In order to...
Find out how he intends to steal the ruby.
Well, why don't you just wait for him to show up and arrest him then?
We don't have enough evidence to convict him of anything.
All we have is the real Tremblay's word, and she's never laid eyes on him.
We need to find out what he's thinking so we can lay a trap.
Do I even look anything like this woman?
Well, the Panther's never actually seen her.
Then why me? Oh, it's because I'm a woman. Is that it?
We need you because the Panther is the most brilliant mastermind thief in the world. And we need someone to trick him into revealing his plan. And you are the only person that is clever enough to pull it off.
Good answer.
So, gentlemen, I believe we found our culprit. Fungal spores.
Fungus? Ugh.
Contagious?
Presumably.
All right, well, what's the cure? Hurry up. This rash is killing me.
Well, this fungus is only found on the corpses of humanity's vilest souls.
What?
Some believe the supposed curses of ancient Egypt are, in fact, the slowly developing effects of this fungus, which infects all who dare to disturb antiquity. With a fate worse than death.
There's no way. That can't be true.
No, I read about this, Henry. Whether or not it is truly a curse, there is undoubtedly a fungus found exclusively in ancient tombs. It infects first the blood, then the brain. Like a parasite, it wipes out one's consciousness and turns a man into a soulless automaton, groaning in endless pain.
What's funny about that?
Oh, Constable Higgins. Mix some of this copper sulfate with soap and water. You'll be fine in a few days.
Henry! Look!
Dr. Tremblay, we meet at last.
Mr. Panther. Oh, I'm surprised at the warm reception. I am, after all, an unwilling participant in your endeavor.
I did not realize I was blackmailing a woman of such beauty.
Well, I suppose people are not always who they seem.
Meaning what?
Only that we all contain surprises.
Right. Perhaps we should get down to business. The gala. Is it going ahead as planned?
As far as I know, yes.
And the ruby will be put on display?
So you're still planning to steal it?
Of course.
At the gala? But that's impossible.
Nothing is impossible. Will the ruby be on display all night, or will it be unveiled at a specific point during the proceedings?
They plan to deliver it to the Great Hall at 7:30 p.m. after the introductory remarks.
Security?
What of it?
What additional measures are in place?
I haven't a clue. After your last attempt, they're keeping their plan a secret. The ruby will be under constant guard. There'll be 100 eyes on the Star of Mandalay in the Great Hall at every moment.
Oh, that won't be a problem.
Why not? Now, you can tell me your little plan. Don't leave me out in the cold like this.
I thought you were an unwilling participant.
Well, you've fanned the flames of my darker nature. Now I'm left to sit here burning with desire.
I had no idea you were so wicked.
Nor did I. Didn't know being a part of a criminal enterprise could be so thrilling.
Some take to such iniquity with ease.
How does it feel to take something you know you shouldn't?
It is a sensation without equal.
Well, then let me take it. Let me be the one to hold it and feel it and deliver it to ecstatic freedom.
Naughty, naughty. But that is my task and mine alone.
Well, you'll never succeed with so many people watching at the unveiling.
It will be in my possession before it ever makes it to the hall.
Then you plan to crack the safe, do you?
That won't be necessary. That which I desire will be mine. Doctor, please. You can share in its glory after I've stolen it.
Then our glory will have to wait as well. Goodbye.
He intends to steal it while it's in transit.
From the vault to the gala.
He all but confirmed as much.
Excellent work. From the vault to the Great Hall. This is the most direct route along the South Corridor and in.
The kitchen gives access to the South Corridor.
We could hide in there and emerge into the corridor to steal the ruby.
Except that the kitchen will be in use for the gala.
Ah, yes. Mrs. Brackenreed and the Ladies' Auxiliary Committee will be preparing a Scandinavian buffet.
Oh, at their last function, they had crab legs.
He'll have to use a disguise as to not arouse suspicion. A chef or a waiter.
What if we send the Star of Mandalay the long way? Along the length of the building here, and down the north corridor and in.
That makes the path much longer. More opportunities to interrupt its journey.
Yes, but he doesn't need to know about it. We'll create a second fake ruby procession that will go along the original direct route.
And lure him to steal it.
Allowing us to nab the Panther red-handed without him being anywhere near the ruby.
Excellent. One good scheme deserves another.
Scandinavian buffet.
Welcome, one and all. Thanks to your generosity, in only a few short years, our world-class establishment will be open to the public. This museum will be the jewel of Canada for decades, centuries. And speaking of jewels, very soon you will be treated to a viewing of the world's largest ruby, the Star of Mandalay. To the Royal Ontario Museum.
What are you doing? How many times have I told you that you can't leave a tray for the guests to see? And you haven't refilled the herring. The key to a successful smorgasbord is prompt.
If he doesn't go for the ruby now, our entire plan will be for naught.
I've got it. Mrs. Brackenreed.
What?
Apologies, but a guest is inquiring into obtaining your services for a luxury cruise.
Oh.
Quebec City to the Cape.
Oh, wow, Cape Cod, how wonderful. When does it depart?
There's no cruise. I'll explain later.
All right, well, that waiter, he looks familiar.
It's the uniform Thoreau warned us of enterprises that require a change of clothes. Conformity crushes the individual.
Indeed.
Let's go.
Just give it to
always wondered what happened to the dinosaurs.
What do you mean?
They were huge, fearsome creatures. Why did they die out?
Maybe they didn't.
Then where have they been for the last 60 million years?
Well, there are some in Alberta, aren't there?
No, I don't think there are.
Well, how did you know? There's no way that people could have checked everywhere. I've never even been to Toronto Island.
Well, I've never been to the moon either, but I'm certain there's no dinosaur bones there.
Well, now you're just being ridiculous.
Not
There's
being
no...
ridiculous.
He went for it.
Going somewhere?
Well done. That is a relief indeed.
He refuses to say anything, but given that we caught him with the decoy in hand, I'd say we have a pretty strong case.
More importantly, it's safe to bring out the real McCoy.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
Everything all right?
I don't know.
If you're feeling that it was all a tad too easy, I share the sentiment.
Job well done. Shall we toast?
Yes.
Yes.
Roberts, did you see that man?
What is it?
Oh, he has the same rash that I have. How could he have... Oh my God. The panther was in the sarcophagus.
But that could mean...
Thank you.
There you have it. There's no rash on his hands.
And?
The panther was inside of the sarcophagus, but I just saw a man in the crowd who has the same rash that I've got.
So this isn't the panther, then?
Let's try to find that other man.
What's this then? Why aren't you refilling the trays?
We're suddenly unsure whether or not we have the correct culprit.
Culprit? He's a waiter. He's... No. Are you an actor? Yes, you are.
An actor?
Yes, Thomas and I saw him on stage last week. He did a play with John. Kenneth Sanborn, isn't it? Oh, you are quite good.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
So you really are an actor, then?
Yes. I thought this was all a performance.
What do you mean, a performance?
I was told it was all part of a show for the crowd. Entertainment in the town square, as it were.
Who told you this?
Mr. Pantera. He promised to help my career.
Pantera is Italian for panther.
He's one step ahead of us again. Oh, no. The ruby's missing.
Sir, we need to lock all of the doors now. It may not have left the building just yet.
But these men need medical attention.
Yes, sir.
Everyone, attention! Attention, please!
What are you doing? We need to lock the doors. The ruby's missing. Have the waiters lock the doors. Don't let anyone leave. Just don't create a scene, please. Right.
We don't know precisely how much time passed between when the guards were attacked and when they were found.
No more than 2 or 3 minutes, but I suppose he could have been out the door in 1.
Possibly, but the ushers claim no one left the building in the moments prior to the commotion.
So it may still be in the building.
Certainly a possibility.
Sir, I found someone.
What's going on now? Who's this?
I believe this is one of the guards.
Guards? Which guard?
The one guarding the ruby.
Then who was taken out to the ambulance?
This isn't the hospital.
No. This is station house number 4. And you're under arrest.
What? How did you know? It would seem that we were both cursed.
Take him to the cells, Henry. Oh, but first... The Star of Mandalay has a date with the Royal Ontario Museum.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Star of Mandalay. Thank you, Inspector. You have saved the Royal Ontario Museum.
Did the guests really not notice anything was amiss?
Rumors were swirling that a heist was narrowly averted, but it seems to have done nothing to hinder donations.
Toronto does love a little scandal.
Indeed. And madam, the Smears Go board was magnificent.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think my husband's not here.
Harrison Oliphant, the king of thieves. You not only attempted the robbery of the century, you managed to drag two innocent people into your scheme, Mr. Sanborn and Dr. Tremblay.
A good thief uses the tools made available to him.
Those are people you are talking about, people whose lives you've irreparably altered.
Are you even a Broadway producer?
Any dope can throw a dime or an idea at a play and call himself a producer. No, I'm a thief, an aging one at that. With the advent of your security system, it felt like the perfect time to hit one last score and retire for good.
Well, it's no cabin on the water, but I do hear wonderful things about the Kingston Pen this time of year. Detective?
Dr. Tremblay.
Thank you for saving the ruby, Detective. I apologize for my part in this terrible scheme.
I realize you felt as though you had no other option, but I can't guarantee you won't be facing charges on this matter.
I understand.
What will you do now, if your time at the university does come to an end?
I don't know, but I think I'll feel better without any secrets.
Indeed. All the best to you. Job well done, sir.
Yes, but running back and forth through the university has me ready for bed like never before.
Is something missing?
My key to my room. Have I misplaced it or... Excuse me.
I told you you wouldn't notice if I actually wanted to pick someone's pocket.
You're quite a devil, aren't you?
You got your man, Inspector. Now it's time for you to get your woman.
All right, Constable, say something. Anything.
There once was a young man from Hogs Hollow.
A simple hello will do.
Go at once. This is egregious.
Louise Cherry.
That's...
It's outrageous.
Miss Cherry, he's just doing his job.
What? Like some autocratic stooge.
George? Miss Chair?
Taken into custody.
Under whose orders?
Mine.
Terrence Myers.
Murdoch, from Robert Borden's campaign on the eve of a federal election.
As is my right.
Right. As a journalist in the fabric of society.
It's called freedom of the press.
This woman needs to be thrown behind bars until she names the source of these leaks.
Security, yes. But unless you can point to a specific law that Miss Cherry is in violation of, I'm in our cells. Miss Cherry, you're free to go.
Thank you, Detective. But what's to protect me next time some mandarin of the state oversteps his authority?
I can't guarantee that won't happen.
Then lock me up, Detective. Let's see how much stomach this government has once this issue is before the courts.
What's all this? I'm attempting to release Miss Cherry, but both she and Agent Myers seem intent that I lock her up.
Agent Myers? Are you?
It's classified information.
Myers, it's always a pleasure, but we don't have time for this.
Headed somewhere, sir?
But Borden has just arrived in Toronto, and we're looking after him. The man might be this country's next Prime Minister. So, Miss Cherry, please, run along. Murdoch, grab your hat. You're with me.
Detective Murdoch, Toronto.
Detectives over here. Thank you for responding to my call so quickly.
I beg your pardon?
Kitchen boy found him.
Wallet's empty.
This camera has been smashed and there's no fool for it. Do you know this man?
I did. Arthur Wilson.
He's no longer on the payroll.
Based on algor mortis, I'd estimate the victim died sometime between 9 p.m. and midnight. The cause appears to be a penetrating gunshot wound to the chest.
Thank you, Ms. Hart.
I also noticed one other thing, that there's a key around his neck.
He was keeping it hidden. Tiny key for a tiny lock and a tiny door. Or luggage. Mind the board and people here. Thank you.
Excuse me, sir. Toronto Constable.
I'm sorry, Mr. Borden cannot be disturbed, but I assure you I speak on his behalf.
And you are?
William Price, Mr. Borden's.
Very good. What position did Mr. Wilson fill on the campaign?
He was in charge of logistics and security.
Oh, is that why he carried a camera?
Oh, yes, yes. He photographed venues and accommodations.
What sort of a man was he?
He kept to himself.
Did he have any enemies?
Not that I'm aware of. In truth, I knew very little about the man. 2 days ago when he quit.
He quit? For what reason?
He wasn't committed to Mr. Borden, which I could not understand. He is the best at the job. I do hope Mr. Borden has your votes.
Where were you last night between 9 and midnight?
Alone? Yes. Will that be all? Mr. Borden's rally is tonight, and there's a great deal left to accomplish. Remember, Borden is your man.
The man's as oily as tin fish. But
Yeah, serves.
What have you, George?
Well, I couldn't find anybody who heard a gunshot, but the hotel manager gave me this.
anything interesting at the desk?
Yes, sir, there's this hand just 2 days ago. Suitcase with some spare shirts. This briefcase. It's locked. The key. Doesn't fit.
Maybe there's another case.
Right. What's this? A hidden compartment. These are internal documents from the Robert Borden campaign, sir.
Private letters and telegrams would normally carry around.
Sir, these are similar in content to the documents that Miss Cherry has. Mr. Wilson was the source of the leaks.
Real.
She looks to be about 30. Julia, please, come quickly. What's happened? A woman was brought in unconscious by her landlady.
Hello. What's your tenant's name?
Oh, she never said. I don't think she speaks English. Well, not that I know of.
Labored breathing, and her eyes are cloudy. Is she sensitive to pollen? What's this? There's signs of erythema on her forearm.
That's not my doing. I found her like that.
Her fingers have been amputated.
Mr. Price, could we have a word?
Sorry, Inspector, you caught me at a bad...
See what we've found.
Private campaign documents that were hidden by your former logistics man.
Yes, I see. Price? He confessed to me personally.
He confessed?
Yes, he said he'd experienced a change of heart. He'd been put up to it by a political rival, but the more he came to regard him as a kind and thoughtful patriot.
And yet he quit his post anyway?
No, if you want the truth, I fight. In my experience, trust between men is like a fine wine. Years to develop. No time at all to spoil.
What about our trust?
I'm a political secretary, Inspector. My job requires skillful management of facts in the service of the greater good.
That's just a fire.
Excuse me a moment. Excuse me, miss. May I ask you a question? I'm Detective William Murdoch of the Toronto Constabulary. And I assume you are the telephone switch.
I'm a detective. How'd you know?
Oh,
the size of the room that you exited, its proximity to the front desk, coupled with the fact that you were...
It gets in the way of the earpiece.
Yes. And did you happen to receive any...
I assure you, Inspector, after Mr. Wilson was fired, I never saw or heard from him again. Now, if there's nothing else...
You're welcome.
Detective Murdoch, chatting up...
That young lady is the hotel switchboard operator. It would appear our victim telephoned the hotel here last night at 8 p.m. of the guests.
Let me guess. It's our political secretary. I wouldn't trust that man as far as I could throw a feather.
No. Our victim asked to speak with his former boss, the Honorable Robert Laird Borden.
Please, sir, have a seat.
A nasty business. I didn't know Mr. Wilson well, but he seemed a decent fellow.
Even though he was leaking your business to the...
He confessed to that, and I'd forgiven him. Besides, what have I to hide? An affinity for keeping Canada...
Sir, if I may, Mr. Wilson telephoned you the night he was killed. What did he say?
Oh, vital importance. And would I be able to meet with him straight away?
Meaning last night?
Yes. He said he was making his way directly, and...
Then what happened?
Then, nothing. He never appeared. And we awoke to learn the reason.
How would you describe Mr. Wilson's state of mind during the call?
I'm not sure. He seemed troubled. Yes, somewhat.
Can you imagine why that could be?
Or what he wanted to tell you?
I'm sorry, I confess I had barely spoken prior to that evening. I never saw him that night, and I suppose I never will again.
Excuse me, sir.
Well, sir, it was an honor to make your acquaintance.
Thank you for your time.
Truly, the honor was mine. A welcome rest, gentlemen.
There you are, Murdoch. A man of character.
We can hardly say we know the man, but a vengeful sort.
We'll have to find another rabbit for this particular hunt.
Excuse me, sirs. Miss Cherry has published a new edition.
How can she continue to publish leaked documents if her source is dead?
Well, let's ask her.
Why am I here?
Miss Cherry, we need to know how you obtained your latest exclusive.
I will not divulge my sources.
We know who the source is, and we've recently found him dead.
Good Lord.
Don't think you can play us for fools, young lady.
No, truly, I never met him.
To protect the identity of someone whose identity you were never actually privy to.
Of course. It's the principle of it, gentlemen. Just look at what happened to poor Mr.
When did you obtain this latest leak?
Just this morning.
Your source is dead.
Don't ask me. I received a leak almost every day. Today was no different.
Someone else must be.
Is that a killer?
Miss Cherry, we need your help. We need to find these leaks.
And what's in it for me?
You'll get to report on the truth. That is, if the truth.
It all started with an anonymous letter. The source told me he would sell me information. I was skeptical at first, but I followed his instructions and was soon rewarded. Every morning, I'd check to see if a mark was set on. If the mark was there, I'd go inside and find documents on the boarding campaign under my usual seat. And then leave, wiping the mark off the lamppost as I went.
How long did it take for the money to disappear?
I'm not sure, but it was always gone by evening. I checked.
Right. Let's see if today's payment's been collected.
Well, it's no Buckingham Palace, but then None of us are princesses, are we?
A bit like mold.
Which is why I was airing the place out.
I don't mean to offend. I'm just trying to establish the cause of...
Like I said, it's nothing to do with me. I keep things proper.
Do you know where she might have worked?
I come and she rarely left the room.
This trunk came from Trieste.
No, she hardly spoke a word of English. I haven't had time to tidy up yet.
Oh.
Is it?
The woman's missing fingers.
Terrence Myers. What is the meaning of this?
All will be and never to you.
What? Why?
Because you are a firebrand and a rabble-rouser. Speak to Detective Murdoch.
Come on, Miss Cherry.
What?
We're leaving.
Would have thought better of you, George. Have the right to know what deeds are being perpetrated in their name.
There's only so much the public can be trusted to know, am I right? You must try this new dish from Calgary. Ginger beef. It's outstanding. So, what I'm about to tell you can never... I knew who the source of the leak was, of course. He worked for me until he went soft.
Went soft?
I with Borden. What a joke that was. Borden has the charisma of a butter knife.
So if he was, then why go through all the song and dance to have Miss Cherry reveal her source?
A standard cutout test. Strut up and see how they perform. Miss Cherry just passed with flying colors. She's a fiery pistol, that one. Heart belongs to another.
Right. So you're responsible for all of them.
The leaks were designed to knock Borden down in the polls. That man is a monarchist who will work towards dismantling everything that Canada independent voice on the world stage.
And Laurier is aware of what you're doing?
The Prime Minister was trying to launch the Canadian Navy. He doesn't get down on the dirt with men like us.
I see.
So, but I didn't kill him. Even though the last time we met ended in a disagreement.
On account of Mr. Wilson going soft.
Talking nonsense about some threat he had heard against Borden at an agricultural rally. Last time I saw him, a ridiculous camera of his, a terrible spycraft.
Any idea where he was going?
Headed towards the ward.
Or all you're prepared to say?
Any change? Well, she's resting more peacefully yet. Oh, what did you find? The woman's missing fingers. Mercy! What happened to them? Oh, it would have caused her enormous discomfort, perhaps to the point of self-amputation. Well, I have hers doing the exact same thing. Well, Toronto may be chilly, but this is not the high Arctic.
Thank you, Mrs. Have you, George?
A place to look, I believe.
Lead the way.
Sir, as far as keeping secrets from the public, do you side with...
I suppose there are things the government would prefer to keep secret.
But the government works for the people, not the other way. Right to publish the information she's found?
Not if it was illegally obtained.
Yeah, but then it's the government that decides what is legal or wrong.
Yes, but they are all of us.
Doesn't seem that way sometimes.
No, it doesn't.
In any case, a washerwoman saw our man take a photograph down this alley about 8 p.m. last night. What is it, sir?
George, where is the nearest telephone call box? Mr. Wilson telephoned the hotel the night he was killed, and he sounded afraid. Perhaps the subject of him gave chase. And Mr. Wilson's camera was without film.
What is it, sir?
Film. Sometimes you get lucky, George.
Do you have it?
Yo, it's not Halloween.
They hold it. If I'm not mistaken, that is a bomb. And it's intended for Robert Borden.
This way, then. It shouldn't take too long.
He's waiting in the hallway.
Good man. Take him straight out. Crabtree here will provide escort for you both.
Is this disruption really necessary?
Imagine what it'll be like if a bomb goes off.
We need access to the hotel's ballroom.
It's already been secured.
No.
As long as it takes to guarantee the safety of this nation. Good?
Julia! She's awake.
Hello. You're Ogden? You're at the Toronto Women's Clinic. How are you feeling?
Has she spoken? Not yet.
Just in your room? Do you remember what happened?
Yes.
2 of your fingers have been amputated.
Can't believe they need this many chairs. You sure it's Borden we're talking about here?
When?
Hardly. Serve my country, not the man leading it.
Shouldn't we check under the stage?
I don't think so. Take another look at the photograph.
The clamp. Huh. I've never seen one of these attached to a bomb before. What do you think it's for?
To a pipe.
We found it. So, yank out the detonator, we'll be done.
Too risky. We should disconnect the timing device first.
You're as timid. I've done this before, you know.
What? Accidentally detonate a bomb?
Fine. Have it your way, play it safe.
Yes.
Nicely done.
Right. And now to arrest the man that put it here.
You found the bomb, bravo.
Yes, we did, mercifully.
Told us that the ballroom had been secured.
Meaning, in the moment, of course, people had been in and out.
Yes, your watch chain quite high. Higher than most.
It's the uniform.
It also happens to man in this photograph. I also noticed that you have chalk on your sleeve, particular lighting pipe inside the ballroom.
Oh. I believe this is also yours. Jim party, or?
You're coming with us, sunshine.
Kill him, come now. You've seen the bomb, you found where I put it. Spoil his speech and rain down some plaster.
For what reason?
Have you heard what Borden plans to do to Canadian agronomy? Family farms and force us all to move to Toronto to work as ruddy hotel clerks.
Did you attend this agricultural rally?
Yes, sir, I did, along with many fine people.
And did you?
No, I only knew him from the hotel.
But he saw you, and he followed you, and took...
Why the masks?
It's just a bit of fun, isn't it? Remember the 5th of November and all.
Mr. Wilson learned of your plan and was going to spoil your fun, so you killed him?
Thing to do with the murder.
Where were you last night between the hours of 9 p.m. and midnight?
I was having a few beers down at the bar.
So who is this friend?
She never told me her name. I met her at the rally. She said she...
Well, gentlemen, This job has ridden me roughshod across a broad swale of human experience. My days have been plunged down to the depths of human betrayal, each moment soaking themselves into the very canvas of my soul. And because of that, I can honestly say, the small potatoes is it.
Just small potatoes.
Just small potatoes.
Gentlemen, this is far from over. A match?
Ah. Would you like me to question Mr. Blake further? There are ways of making people talk.
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm heading home.
Yes, I'll join you.
Terrence Myers.
Doctor?
Those Guy Fawkes costumes?
You do? That's the ward.
Yes. I have a new patient that lives there. Unusual case, actually. She may have severed...
Did you do that?
I don't know. She doesn't speak English. I believe she's from Trieste.
Trieste? What is it? Bomb expert traveling from Trieste, but we all thought they were headed to America.
Who's this woman?
I don't know. Orgiokosh or Orgikosh?
We must question this woman at once. Orgiokosh is Hungarian.
I'll see if I can wake her.
Damn, we're too late.
The assassins found her and finished the job.
I feared.
What are you talking about?
Doctor, your patient is from Trieste, a vital Hungarian empire. An empire that's intent on growing its naval power at the expense of the British.
You're telling us this is about the bloody Navy?
I was engaged in a titanic struggle, Inspector. A battle to control the high seas, the rise of the dreadnought.
What does this have to do with Canada?
Laurier wants to create a homegrown navy, while Borden would send money directly to England for the purpose.
And the Austro-Hungarian, they have no fear of a Canadian navy.
A strong British fleet is a threat.
Precisely. And now that their munitions expert is...
Pivot to what?
Something much more direct. There's clearly a highly trained foreign assassin loose in this city, and I predict Robert Borden will be killed tonight.
Your Honor, ladies and the opportunity to speak with you this evening. The people of Toronto share the concerns of all Canadians in this upcoming federal election.
I'm afraid we have to terminate the event. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid the event has to be terminated. Please make your way to the exits. Please wait for me.
What's happening? How about a little quid pro quo?
If you know something, Miss Cherry.
It looks suspicious. You owe me.
Turn around. Show yourself.
Laura?
I knew it would be you, Tax. It has always been you. This also has to be you.
The international assassin.
Incredible, isn't it? You little minx.
You were named Deborah Anderson.
And you've a nosy and in the way. Something's changed.
I thought you were in prison. Did they swap you for McCutcheon?
He didn't survive the torture. They tried him for Hopkins.
You're worth 10 of Hopkins.
Thank you. It is true.
So you recruited the hotel manager to do it under false pretenses.
Find a gullible local patsies and kill them when it's done. You cover up.
You also killed Borden's logistics man.
You saw me with the hotel.
And you killed your bomb maker from Trieste?
The frayed ends that had to be tidied.
And what was to...
Straightforward.
The best ones always are.
I planned to shoot Borden when he left the stage, but killing him unlikely. This time, I would surely have. So, I went out on the roof, take in my last breath of freedom, look out over the city. But it wasn't meant to be. I was thwarted once again by Canada's most brilliant spy and his wide-eyed provincial sidekick.
Excuse me?
Bravo, Valence. I'm prepared to meet my fate.
Not like my wife to be caught out so easily.
And precision, and we're rewarded. I mean, how many of us have not lost a step or two over the years?
Mind your words, sir. That woman could run.
Detective Murdoch, it's Miss Hart. Seeing our call on my inter-office communication device. Please go ahead.
Was indeed the cause of death.
You found something else.
The internal examination revealed her lungs were damaged.
An accumulation of fluids.
Yes. Spectroscopic analysis shows the victim inhaled a near-fatal dose of...
Good Lord.
Although she was murdered, she likely wouldn't have survived another day.
Gentlemen, we have been hearing chatter about the Austrians experimenting with gas warfare. We had no idea that...
Our victim must have been working with liquid phosgene. It must have released in her room, frozen her finger. Gentlemen, if I'm not mistaken, this bomb wasn't merely meant to explode. So released phosgene gas.
But we foiled Laura's...
We arrested her on the roof, right next to all of the ventilation equipment. Laura Saulnay wasn't up there. Rest. She was planting a bomb.
It'll gas the whole hotel.
Murdoch!
I'll let you handle that.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, and success, please, indulge me. Remember the 5th of November. This bomb scare shall all be forgot. But I see no reason down to bloody dreadnoughts.
Seeing as my Borden leaks have dried up, worry I'm out.
Well, don't keep us in suspense.
I can see it now. Deadly gas leak threatened...
I'm sorry, you cannot say that.
Austrian spy stopped in Toronto sky.
I must insist not. It's a matter of
Nash, what am I allowed to say?
Celebrating.
A little bit? Yep.
Shut. How did you figure it out?
Insight, instinct, broad luck.
Incredible. All Canadians were like you. But now I know. You beast Ahmad. John was always so... right?
Break it. Next month. It's not just the fact.
Evening. Our anniversary. You remembered?
Just 20 glorious years. Oh, marmalade.
Bye, stick.
You're good.
I've built up quite a tolerance over the years. Goodbye, my love. Auf Wiedersehen.
Gentlemen, I feel a fool.
For still chasing after a woman who only married you so she
Just allowing an international assassin to escape.
Laugh all you want. I will catch him.
Gentlemen, please don't stop the fun on my account. I would not be my mother's son if I did not make a special stop to thank you personally at the hotel last night.
Well, that was thanks to Agent Myers over there and our very own Detective William Murdoch.
That's
It was our pleasure to be of service.
I appreciate your expertise and fearlessness in to serving you as your next Prime Minister.
Well, sir, you have my vote.
He does seem a truly decent fellow.
Yeah, maybe so. In 15 years, and as long as I'm at the wheel, it'll be Laurier for 15 more.
Morning, sirs. Have you seen Miss Cherry's?
Sentinel editor saves Borden's life.
A gas leak at the Queen's Hotel threatened to end Robert Borden's campaign. Quick thinking and decisive action of your editor, Miss Louise Cherry.
Well, that's one way of putting it.
What a terrible master.
Oh, please, come now, Agent Myers. Even you must admit that democracy can only truly repress.
Prefer to stay in the shadows, thank you very much. Al, Ellen, if you'll excuse me, I have a wife to find.
Oh, you'll not be laughing when she comes for barefoot and babbling in her bloody white gown. She haunts the cemetery looking for men to beguile. If you see her, look away. Once her eyes meet yours, all is lost. You'll be a helpless minion for the woman in white. For her, wreaked a vengeance that in life she never could. And if you believe Bridge in Brooklyn, I'd like to sell you. Well, I'm just sozzling up. Just taking an evening drive in the country air. Mother of God.
He's missing any.
Must have been torn off by the vehicle.
I don't see it around anywhere. No, I'm sorry, sir. Fellow likely stepped out in front of a car. Do you think it was an accident?
Judging by the number of tire tracks, the driver likely backed up and rolled over the victim a number of times.
All right, thank you. We'll be in touch if we have any further questions. He was cutting through the cemetery, sir, when he found the body lying here. Other than that, he knows nothing.
Orville Sproul.
What's this, sir?
Looks to be an awl. The victim was likely a leather worker. We look for the vehicle.
Well, sir, isn't it likely long gone by now?
It's probably damaged, Henry.
Well, on foot, sir?
Yes. The exercise will do us good.
Nothing was stolen?
Not as far as I can tell.
Was committed.
Certainly this is a criminal act.
I take it you don't usually display your wares in such fashion?
Last night and fiddled with my meat.
It's quite elaborately done. The Eiffel Tower? It's ingenious, really.
Fine.
I'm just saying, look at all the attention it's getting. Is it not free advertising?
Someone broke into my store. You know, all that food?
Who else has access to the store?
No one. I own the building. I ran out the adjacent storefronts to a bookseller and a hat maker.
And there was no signs of forced entry?
None. I have no idea how the intruder got in.
Mr. Peach, what's your like?
Excellent. They love me.
Mr. Peach overstates my affection for him, and the rent increase hasn't helped.
You raised your rent? Did you have anything to do with the goings-on inside his store?
What are you talking about?
Well, somebody rearranged his wares of beef upon pork, shingles of mutton, columns of sausage.
I can assure you that store as well.
Oh, really?
Look what they did to my books. All the spines are facing in.
Meat sculptures.
I'm just doing my job, man.
Then you should leave me to do mine, so I can earn enough to cover this exorbitant rent increase.
Mr. Peach raised your... Did you argue with him about it?
I complained vehemently, and I suspect Mr. Peach has engaged in some sort of campaign of...
I don't understand.
Does this look like emu to you?
I've never seen an emu.
All been rearranged and mislabeled.
I see.
Come on, lads, put some muscle into it. My grandmother could do better.
Go any faster, Henry.
What do you recommend?
Perhaps you could help them. All right. Ah. Mr. Spruill's ear. We have our murder weapon.
Murderer. Run down by an automobile. You're thinking it's murder?
The evidence thus far point.
I did some digging on your victim.
What did you find?
Nothing particularly noteworthy. Orville Spruill was a batch of goods. His neighbor said he kept to himself. They have no idea why anyone would harm him. Was he robbed?
There's money.
Sir? I've traced that license plate.
Who's the owner?
Mr. Charlie Hall.
I knew you coppers would find me a little quicker than I imagined.
Are you admitting you murdered Orville?
I mean, no. I hit him in my car, but it wasn't my fault.
Then?
The woman in white.
I beg your pardon?
It's a local legend. I never... Last night, she was near the cemetery. Barefoot and bedraggled with her hollow eyes and gaping maw. I didn't know it was a man till I backed up to see what I ran over.
Running over him a second time.
I panicked.
Mother of God. And ran over him. Had you been drinking by chance?
A little, but there's no crime.
But leaving the scene of an accident is.
What can I do for you, Mr. Peach?
It's gotten worse. I would say exponentially worse.
What's happened now?
That's one of my hats!
That's 30 pounds of prime beef ruined.
That's right. That novel. I wrote that.
You're George Crabtree? I love...
Is it selling at all?
Not particularly.
Right, then let's get inside and we'll get to the bottom of this.
This is so exciting. We just don't get stores like this in Pussledge. Oh, well, this is a wonderful Milner.
Oh, things differently in the big city. Indeed they do. Shall we continue?
Yes.
According to Mr. Hall, a ghostly woman in white orchestrated the car accident, which is either deliberate fabrication.
Hall may try to use his intoxication as an excuse.
Regardless, Charlie Hall killed. Just with Murdoch. Oh, Miss Hart, yes. I see. Right. Thank you. Charlie Hall did not kill Orville Sproul with his car. According to Miss Hart, Mr. Sproul was... Mr. Hall hit him with his car. He'd been stabbed in the chest. Sir, may we help you?
I saw the woman in white last night, staring with those vacant eyes. I saw her, and she saw me. I feared for my life.
That Hall saw last night.
Are you up for a stroll through the graveyard?
Sir.
Premises have been thoroughly searched. There's no signs of forced entry.
Correct.
And the locks have been changed. Nobody can get these keys.
Thank you.
So there should be no more mischief.
Well, lest the perpetrator slipping through the walls.
Like a phantom.
No, I don't think it was a phantom. No, that is not something a rational would think. So no, I do not think that.
Over there on the bench, when I saw the woman in white. She was walking in this direction. Being a God-fearing man, I'm not ashamed to tell you, I ran.
We'll contact you with our findings. Thank you.
Perhaps I should speak to the inhabitants of that place. They might know.
Be our woman in white?
Have you become a believer?
I believe I may have just seen movements were strange.
Everything about this is strange.
What do you want?
I'm Detective William Murdoch.
Yes, Clarence.
Woman upstairs, is she your wife?
Yes, my lovely Camilla.
I'd like to have a word with her.
It's not a good time.
Good God. All right, Miss, you're safe now.
Camilla!
What on earth is this?
It's for her own good.
I highly doubt that. Mr. Grundy, you are under...
I can help you.
No! You don't understand!
We understand just fine. You are in need of help.
Yes, she is. On that we agree.
Is that another word for murderer? Oh, Camilla.
This is Dr. Julia Ogden, and she'll assessment.
Oh, I'm not feeble-minded.
No one said you were. I'm simply here to ensure that you're of sound mind. Do those abrasions hurt?
Oh, no, I've grown accustomed to the straps.
How long have you been sleepwalking?
And I don't just walk. I do all kinds of things in my sleep. I never remember afterwards, but I've heard the tales.
What did your husband mean when he said, "Oh no, Camilla, not again"?
I had a cat, and I loved him, but I killed him when I was sleeping with my bare hands.
Oh, dear.
That's why I started using the straps. I was afraid I would do more evil.
A man named Orville Sproul has been killed, stabbed in the chest. Witnesses report seeing wandering near the cemetery.
I don't know anything about that.
The night before last?
Oh, no. It had just been so long since there was an incident. We were of the mind to have intimate relations, so we went without. And poor soul. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Detective Murdoch, I'd like a bit of privacy to further examine.
Of course, Doctor. I await your assessment.
Man to see the constable.
You're surrounded by constables. Pick one.
Not just any constable. It has to be him.
There he is!
3.
What happened to you?
He was pushed down the basement stairs by the ghost.
I've heard voices at night.
The floorboards creak. There are strange odors.
And what exactly would you have me do about these admittedly strange, but...
Investigate.
Investigate what?
The previous owner of the building. She died.
Her name was Gladys Nutter.
We think she's haunting us.
You need to...
Yeah.
Camilla Grandi is a somnambulist. Sleepwalking is a legitimate phenomenon.
So you believe in her sleep?
Well, I'm not willing to speculate. Frankly, it would be unethical for me to further this patient.
Patient?
Yes, I've decided to serve as Mrs. Grundy's personal physician.
And I believe I also know who her personal lawyer will be.
How goes the mighty ghost hunter?
Well, I'm trying to remain objective, Henry. I mean, these people need help. I can't very well ignore them. Don't shuffle a few papers. The least I can do is give the appearance of making an effort.
What have you got so far?
Gladys Nutter's date of her death, the place of interment, Wisteria Grove Necropolis, but doesn't provide cause of death.
Thank you. Identifying Mrs. Grundy as the woman you saw in your cemetery will help our case tremendously.
Glad to help, Detective.
Caretaker at Wisteria Grove Necropolis, aren't you?
I am. Gary Cardinal.
Constable George Crabtree. I'm investigating a caterer.
There are hundreds buried there.
Her name is Gladys Nutter.
Oh. You won't find Mrs. Nutter's grave in my cemetery. You won't find it because it's unmarked, like all the graves of suicides. I make it my business to remember them because no one else does. God rest her soul. Hanged herself in her basement. There's no gravestone, but I planted a pine tree there.
Well, thank you, sir. Hanged herself in the basement. The bookseller was shoved down the stairs. Henry, you know what this means?
Dear God. It is a ghost.
You're so very sure that you're right.
Return home and remove all evidence of her crime if she wasn't conscious of what
There are numerous documented cases of people doing bizarre things in their sleep. Preparing elaborate meals, jumping out of windows.
Mrs. Grundy's actions seemed planned and deliberate, which is why I will be testifying on behalf of the...
Deemed a legitimate defense for other murder suspects, and it should be no different from Mrs. Grundy, which is why I will be testifying for the defense.
If on the tango?
I was born ready, George. Slow.
Quick, slow. I have to admit, I'm a bit nonplussed. I promised myself I wasn't going to get lured into this case. Flirting with the paranormal again.
Foot slide.
A foot slide. Oh, sorry.
I'm a bit frazzled myself, this sleepwalking defense.
Mrs. Crabtree, you know you're going to win this case.
Thank you, Mr. Craig. Now, regrettably, I must cut this lesson short. I have lots to prepare for tomorrow. Big day.
Somnambulism has clear legal precedent, 2 prior cases. It is my intention to prove to this court that Mrs. Camilla Grundy was sleepwalking on the night of Orville Sproul's death, and is therefore...
Thank you. The prosecution has the floor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Members of the jury, the Crown will not insult your intelligence by addressing my learned friend's claims of somnambulism. Call to the stand our first expert witness, Detective William Murdoch. Detective Murdoch, Mrs. Grundy has claimed she never met the deceased.
I do.
And why is that?
My search of the police records has revealed that last year reported Mrs. Grundy to the Toronto Constabulary for shoplifting.
Reporting on a shoplifting? Motive for murder?
I've known people to kill for less.
No further questions.
Your Honor, the defense requests a recess.
Granted.
fact that you knew Mr. Sproul?
Because it looks bad that he reported me to the police.
You're right. It gives the appearance you wanted revenge.
No. Rather, for the restraints, he withdrew the charge. Orville was a kind man.
Did you and he become friends?
He said he would make the restraints sit and read Walt Whitman to him.
Walt Whitman, the poet?
Mm-hmm. And Oscar Wilde and Rossetti. We'd spend hours reading. He was a sensitive, artistic soul.
I take it your relationship was platonic?
Oh, completely. I loved my husband. Well, I don't really think that Mr. Sproul fancied ladies. We were just friends. He was a good friend. I think I've killed my friend.
Do you think Mrs. Grundy will be found guilty, sir?
Prevail. How is your investigation coming along?
Sir, I believe the ghost of Gladys Nutter is terrorizing the building's tenant. Beg pardon, sir?
I thought you were attempting a more rational approach this time.
I've come to ask for your help in proving this scientifically. I have in my possession an ingenious invention given me by my sons of otherworldly beings. The use of your night vision camera would be very useful.
Is that right?
Yes. Bolometer. What does that detect exactly?
Infrared heat.
Yes, that would be very useful as well. How is it possible that ghosts don't generate body heat? In fact, ghost walks by.
I suppose I could calibrate it to detect lower than normal body temperatures.
I accept your offer.
You accept? All right, George. Yes.
Excellent.
Didn't tell me that Mr. Sproul had reported Mrs. Grundy for stealing.
As an officer of the law, I am not obliged to help defense attorney.
Why are you so sure that Mrs. Grundy is a killer?
Julia, I do not wish to fight with you. You should be aiming Camilla Grundy for lying to you about her association with the victim.
She had her reasons for lying, although misguided.
Amnesia.
Somnambulism! Not amnesia, William!
Call it what you will. It's all...
Slow. Quick, slow.
I neglected to look into the police files. I was too focused on that sleepwalking defense.
Effie, it's a small obstacle that you're going to work.
You really think so?
Yes, I'm sure of it. Just as I'm sure I'm about to come face to face with the supernatural.
Leaving?
Effie, I have to. Detective Murdoch is tuning the bolometer so he can help me scientifically prove that ghosts exist.
That's wonderful, darling. I love you, Mr. Crabtree.
Miss Driscoll, you take this device. This can detect the presence of non-humans in general. Mr. Beach, you take the night vision camera. This can photograph things even hidden in the dark eye on the Ouija board. The dead might try to communicate with us through this. And I will operate the bolometer, which can read things. Right then, if we're ready, let's get on with it. We are here to contact the spirit of Gladys Nutter yourself. Do you smell that?
Scent. Like pine needles.
Pine? Gladys Nutter has a pine tree instead of a head. Gladys Nutter, are you here with us? Give us a sign. Lord. Check your instruments. Oh my God. That's her. We have her. Wait till Detective Murdoch sees this.
cardinal question.
I was enjoying the moonlight after doing my rounds, and then I saw her. She was wandering around, muttering to herself, and staring with empty eyes.
Now, do these seem to be the actions of someone in control of their own capacities? Or rather, someone who's stumbling about in the...
Now, Mr. Hall, you left the tavern around midnight?
The witching hour, I did indeed.
See, as you were driving along Shad Carey Bend.
I turned a corner, and there she was. Lingering down was pure white, white as the driven snow. And then...
Cross-examination, Counselor?
You state that Mrs. Grundy's gown was pure white, white as the driven snow?
'Twas ghostly and gleaming in the under...
Immediately before you ran over Mr. Sproul, is that correct?
He was already dead. His body was lying in the road.
The Crown suggests that before he was run over by Mr. Hall. Now, if that is the case, then how did Mrs. Grundy manage to keep her gown pure white, white as the drift of man to death?
Objection, Your Honor. A drunkard's hazy recollection about the color of a woman's frock can hardly be deemed reliable. Sis had placed Camilla Grundy at the scene of Orville Sproul's murder. Why else would she have been there without nefarious intent?
Your Honor, I question while she is under hypnosis. In order to retrieve Mrs. Grundy's recollections of the night in question, Dr. Ogden will be hypnotizing her. Valerie, and dim the lights.
You feel warm. You're awake, but calm. Your eyes are growing heavy. 3, 2, 1. Now you're walking through the graveyard on a full moon. Tell me what you see.
Oh, Lucifer! Lucifer!
Order! I demand you end this!
You will awaken! Your Honor, may I have a moment alone with my client?
Step down, Mrs. Grundy.
Lucifer was our cat. Tabby.
Name of this cat. I remind you, Mr. Grundy, you are under oath.
While she was sleepwalking, strangled him with her bare hands. Please have mercy on my good Camilla. She's a good woman and not responsible for her actions while asleep.
The prosecution rests.
The court will take a recess.
I need to find some way to prove that you weren't in control of your actions that night.
I do have an idea.
How long do you expect the jury to waste their time watching this murderer sleep?
We are well aware, poor woman, but the judge has ruled to allow this process. We must simply allow it to play out.
This proves nothing.
Patient.
Lovely. I do see it.
Mere play act.
Shh.
Please.
Camilla, wake up! Oh,
Anything further, Counselor? This court is adjourned.
As the jury reached Your Honor, we find the defendant, Camilla Grundy, not guilty of the murder of Orville.
Pine needles.
It's the ghost of Gladys Nutter. Reveal yourself, spirit!
Get out of my house! Get out of my house!
Sir, I told you.
George, of radio frequency to the bolometer has enabled it to see what's behind the wall.
My house! Get out!
Pine needle.
Miss Perry Solano?
It is. How did you end up living behind the walls of Mr. Peach's building?
It's Mrs. Nutter.
You knew Gladys Nutter?
Very well. She wanted to rent out her building, so she hired me to convert it into 3 separate businesses.
To torment the residents after she died?
She promised she'd leave me the property in her will. I was like a son to her. The will was never found. So the city sold off my property.
It's not your property.
Anyone. Climbing behind the walls, searching for the missing will at night.
But you never found it. So you decided to scare...
It was a brilliant plan. And when I heard that the famous writer, Constable George Crabtree, was on the case, I've heard you believe in all sorts of otherworldly things.
Congratulate you on Mrs. Grundy's acquittal.
Yes, you should.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Even if when she murdered Orville Sproul, shouldn't there be consequences?
Well, you're entitled to your beliefs. Let it go.
Something about Mrs. Grundy's relationship with Orville Sproul. Graveyard at that time of night in the first place. And how did she happen to be there at the same time?
Perhaps you just need to accept that you're not always right.
Yes, hello, operator. Detective Llewellyn Watts on Maitland Street, please.
The evidence retrieved from Orville Sproul's residence.
Thank you, Watts. I realize my late-night request for help is highly unusual.
The case has already been tried.
I simply cannot rid my mind of the feeling that there is a guy.
I could help you if I knew what you were looking for.
Therein lies the rub, Detective.
Well, what if I return home?
She set the entire thing up.
Don't do this. I
Heartless bastard, confess! Tell me.
No, Camilla, stop, please!
I think that I killed her cat. But I remember in the courtroom when I saw that pocket watch swinging, you killed Lucifer.
I confess, I did it. She loved that cat more than me,
And Orville? You killed him too, didn't you? Confess!
Mrs. Grundy, stop. You sent the note to Orville Sproul, didn't you? Did you? Answer me, or I will let your wife finish her business.
Thought they were so I got rid of him. I knew they wouldn't convict you, Camilla.
Mr. Grundy, you are under arrest for the murder of Orville Sproul.
Morning, Mr. Solano.
Morning, Constable.
You're still here?
The store owners agreed to drop all charges, do some building maintenance.
It's not much of a job. Do it again.
As soon as I'm done here, I'll head on over.
I'll catch my death if you don't seal these drafty windows.
Mr. Solano, I believe you fared better a phantom. A toast to my brilliant wife. Congratulations on winning your case, Effie.
Congratulations on solving yours, George.
Mrs. Crabtree.
Mr. Crabtree.
And in my waking thoughts I praise out of my stony griefs ethos. So by my woes to be nearer, my God, to thee, nearer to thee, the Lord. Amen. And now, we have a treat for you fine folk tonight. Inspiration from preacher James Wilde. Please give him a warm Canadian welcome.
I'm troubled, friends. A man racked with confusion. I thought when I crossed the border into your fine country that I would be entering into the good Lord. Cool, clear water, northern air, and majestic mountain peaks. But I don't see any of that here. You know, I heard tell that you all call this place Toronto the Good. All I see is a lusty temptress and not much good at all. So, I have to. Who am I talking to here? Am I talking to a room full of sinners? A room full of sinners! Well, then, I'm to a room full of lies. Because I'm a sinner. Not truth. You a sinner, Sister Mary?
I am.
You hear that, friends? There was no one on God's green earth as pure as Sister Mary Ellen Marks, and yet you heard it from her own lips. She has of little Lord Lucifer himself. But there ain't no even the godly sin. So, who out there? Hi. I'm a sinner, Preacher James, like you. Well, look at that there. Seems I don't need to go his lamp to find an honest man. Seems I got one standing right in front of me. Ain't no sin in being a sinner, friend, no sin. But it is a sin to ignore the word of the Lord. Now, you've been doing that? You have. You ready to renounce Satan and welcome in the Lord? Yes. And are you ready to accept the love and judgment of Jesus? Ready to say, so long, Beelzebub, goodbye, Lucifer. You ready to kick old Mammon right out the door? Yes! Oh, lady, got one powerful left hook. You know, He's more powerful than the Galveston giant Jack John. TNT in his right hand. He's got nitro in his left.
He needs help! He's not breathing.
Is there a doctor in here?
I'm a nurse. He doesn't need a doctor.
What do you mean?
He's dead.
Glory! The Lord has called our brother home, called him home after he accepted Jesus. Praise God!
Praise God!
Praise God!
Praise God!
Praise God!
Praise God, sister!
How are you faring?
Fine, Tommy.
What are you doing here?
I saw the banner. Seemed interesting. Sister Mary Ellen is quite well known.
Bloody hell.
Not in here, Thomas.
Oh, what?
A police detective.
Then a man doing the Lord's work, a noble profession. Although, that ain't that right.
What happened?
The spirit of Jesus entered him and carried him home.
Oh, he did he?
I saw it myself.
For a more scientific explanation, you have any idea who this man is?
Just a lost soul looking to find God's love. Might have, might not. Hard to say. I see a lot of people.
How about you, miss?
Sister Mary Ellen arrived yesterday in your fair city.
And fair it is. It's chilly, sir, but there is the smell of industry in the air. Feel of a city full of good, hard-working people.
Can I see your authorization to hold this gathering?
We have God's authority.
But you don't have mine.
Your city council. I'm sure they'll grant me permission before our next meeting.
You're planning another.
Toronto is in need of saving. We will be here as long
about that.
By all outward appearances, the man seems to be, but that's it.
Oh, apparently he just keeled over dead. Taken by the Spirit of the Lord, it said.
Well, I've seen singing and I've even seen someone speaking in tongues once.
No. Good Lord.
I haven't seen anyone fall over dead for no reason.
Have you ever seen one of those preachers who use the snakes?
I have not.
Me neither. Would be something to see, though.
Due diligence. As I said, this man appears to be in great physical shape. Must be a foreign agent that caused this.
It's not a very charitable position.
They have no right to be here. You should have seen it last night. It was a carnival of depravity.
It seems that...
And how do you know where they're from?
Sister Mary Ellen's been running a revival meetings for years down in the United States. Seems they've decided to take their show to a mission.
Sir, they are con artists, plain and simple.
Stealing from the naive and foolish.
Just make them leave. You have our blessings.
I have no permit, so they can't operate. But I am not running them out of town.
They are a scourge!
Is that so? Seems to me like you lot can't take the compensate whatever you want. But you can also take your leave. I, gentlemen, have real work to do. Now, good day.
I don't as this fella Job. Now, he was a heck of a guy. Always stood tall. Man lost his wife, lost all his children of pain, blistered and bleeding. Yet he never once cursed the man upstairs. But that ain't me, folks. I've cursed the man upstairs because sometimes he just don't make life easy. Ain't that right? It's okay to admit it. Sometimes it just ain't easy. And when it gets real hard, when you think you just can't bear it any longer, that consort Beelzebub come a-calling. And then lickety-split, before you know it, you're just like that fella Lot, following for the temptation. Make no mistake, our pal God, our big buddy God, he's the one who put those temptations on this earth in the first place.
Are a blasphemer.
Oh, am I, sir? Ain't it true that God created all things in heaven and on earth?
He did.
So he created all creatures, good, the angry old crocodile, the pious and the pervert, the angel and the whore. Are they not all God's creatures?
They are.
Oh, of course, that's where the similarity ends, ain't it, Father?
We have many more differences than that, sir.
Oh, we do. We surely do. See, folks, they worship God, but they don't really. They worship this fella in Rome, Italy, they call the Pope. They say he speaks for full of riches stolen from the people. Ain't that right?
It is not.
Oh, of course he'd say that, folks. He has to keep y'all filling up the
You
days.
watch your profane mouth. Sir, let's just walk away.
He has no license to do this. He has no right. Arrest him.
Preacher, do you know?
I have no desire to create any unrest or upset.
Throw him in jail.
Father, please, let's just walk away.
Nice talking to you, Father. Oh, dear lady, you again. What brings you out to listen to my rantings on such a fine day? Many do. I take it you're not one of them.
I like to keep an open mind.
Then you are a rare bird. You're
an inspector.
Ah, well then, a man of intelligence and character.
I suppose so.
Then perhaps I could ask you a favor.
Favor?
May I have a word with your husband? Me and him got off on the wrong foot.
All Brings decides to do is his own decision.
That is as it should be. It's good when a man knows his own mind.
Indeed.
Analysis of his blood revealed there was an enormous amount of cocaine in his system. Could have very well caused us to read the cause of death.
Sir killed himself, misusing cocaine.
I wouldn't be so sure of that, Constable Crabtree. More thoroughly, saw this injection mark right here.
It's an area difficult to reach on one's...
Possible, though.
If he injected himself, why would he choose there?
Unless someone else did it.
Who?
Well, that's impossible. He is.
My next order of business.
Precisely. Thank you, Miss Hart.
So you have options. I must say I'm surprised. I've never known City Council move so quickly.
I'm well practiced in the powers of persuasion.
You're not everyone's cup of tea around here.
Those who deliver the truth are rarely without opposition.
Thomas?
The permit. Your golden tongue has worked its magic once again. What do you want? Sir, I just want to assure you that neither any trouble. We are only interested in the business of saving souls.
I don't care what you do, as long as you behave yourself.
That I will do. I will, as pure as Daniel.
Out of my office now.
I'm already moved.
You too.
Good day. Thomas, I really think he's a good man.
Think what you like, Margaret. I want no...
How you doing, fella?
You are an abomination.
Go on now. I'll see you later. What do you say?
You behave yourself. I don't want any more trouble with the police.
I'll be an angel. Decency. A shining beacon of virtue in an otherwise cruel and godless world.
Staying out of trouble will be more than enough.
Constable, a word?
Who are you?
James Wilde.
Oh, the preacher.
Guilty as charged. With being charged with?
Solicitation.
The poor lost soul. Might I speak with her? She may have...
Just for a moment.
What are you doing here? I told you it was over between us. You shouldn't be here.
Is that so? Well, I am, and I am now available.
And so, it wasn't what we expected, but our son Bobby wants to become a priest.
That looks delicious. I guess you gotta go to a place called Hogtown to enjoy chops as fine as these.
Well, you should try mine sometime.
Now, Mrs. Brackenreed.
Oh, Margaret, surely.
All right. Now, I have no problem with anyone who wants to dedicate his life to the Lord, but I fear your son is going down the wrong path.
How do you mean?
You don't want him becoming a Catholic. I mean, some of them are good people, but they are being sold a bill of goods.
How so?
They're not worshiping God. They're worshiping a man. And he gets to be the living voice of God for no other reason. Now, does that make sense to you?
They know more about God than I do.
Do they? Maybe you just gotta feel him in your heart. You don't need anyone else butting into that relationship.
What are you doing back here?
I just made bail for one of your prisoners.
Let me guess. Pretty redhead.
Bingo. Keen eye. The lady needs salvation.
Is that what they call it these days?
Oh, that's a good one, sir. Real good one. Hard to look at, I'll give you that.
I thought you men of the cloth were above that.
Hey, I'm a red-blooded mortal man just like you. Ain't no saint. I'm just God's servant on earth, so I do the best I can. Poor young lady's a sinner. I'm just trying to guide. Between you and me, I lay one hand on that girl and Sister Mary'd have my head on a plate.
You and Sister?
Well, lonely nights. But you know all about that, I bet. Ah, how you doing, detective? Pleasant morning of genuine...
I've learned something very interesting about the man who died at your...
We like to call it a revival.
His body was filled with an enormous amount. Anything about that?
Never did care for that devil dust. Always got me a bit too jittery. Now, if you'll excuse me, I think we're done here.
I hear this James Wilde is a compelling speaker.
Father O'Leary preaches a provocative sermon.
I don't know about that, but he's definitely better than most sleeping tablets.
At any rate, James Wilde is a sideshow man. He's not a man of God.
A sideshow man, like turning...
What have you, George?
I've circulated photographs of the deceased.
You got a response?
I did. His name is Alfred Starker. He's wild.
Accurate. That's where those two started their crusade.
Should I bring them in for questioning?
Not just yet, but we should definitely start with a few questions about their life in Akron.
Right.
Well, not without me. I'd like to see the...
Vashti. Tamar. Or you think you do. Wanton lust demons who destroyed men's souls, and all beyond redemption. But is anyone beyond redemption? With my own life, that I sure as hell hope that ain't the case. Because if you fall down, you gotta get back up again. Amen. Are you down? Hell, he'll probably even give you a hand up, a slap on the back, and a good get going. So come on up here, sweetheart. There's no one gonna hurt you. Say hello to Sue. Well, look at that there. See, and why shouldn't she be? Are we not all his children? Even if we fall off the rails, even if we surrender to the sin, we can be forgiven.
Well, that's good to know.
Are you ready to be forgiven?
I am.
Are you ready to be reborn?
I guess.
You, Susan Michigan, are going to be cleansed of your sins. Your days to an end. The water and the Spirit of the Lord will wash over you, and your sins.
William.
I can see. George.
Cleansed, and you will be under the Lord. And you will be born. I almost lost myself. The Spirit of the Lord is a powerful thing.
Are you all right?
You say he almost killed her.
Out of the water.
Is he behind bars?
No. I didn't think it wise to arrest him in front of his followers.
You're probably right.
I don't know about that, but perhaps a strong warning about his behavior.
I will not. Now you listen to me.
Get off her.
This isn't your business.
We'll decide that.
I am. Thing is, she ain't through with me. She's preying on me, Mary. She's a Jezebel. I'm just trying to turn her into a good woman.
No, I doubt that.
From her, I just want to save her soul.
She followed you here all the way from Akron. She was your tramp there, now she's your tramp here.
No, there's no need to be
Come with us.
No. Why do we need to be doing that? All you're seeing here is two passionate little disagreements.
What I am seeing here is a man who attempted to murder someone.
Murder? Thing I ever heard.
You best keep your mouth shut.
Let's go.
Good evening, sister.
I would never have harmed that woman.
You were indulging in a little bit of how's your father with it, though, weren't you?
Tell me about Alfred Starker.
Who's he?
The man who died at your first revival husband.
Never laid eyes on him.
They were both from Akron, Ohio. They followed you here.
Never said I'd never heard of him. All I know is he was a terrible man. who forced his wife into prostitution and was living off the avails of her sin. Saving it was him.
Saving or killing?
Well, it seemed to amount to the same thing this time, didn't it?
How mighty convenient for you that there's no one to get in between you and her now, is there?
Inspector, I got no interest in Sue Mishkin. My heart belongs to Sister
Body parts.
That's a good one. Yeah. Can't always control the other part. Thing is, girls like Sue are a dime a dozen. I need to get dipped. There are plenty of honeypots in every town I visit that are happy to oblige.
Stage.
I did no such thing. The Spirit of the Lord got hold of me.
Again, I ask you, that died at your revival meeting.
Like I said, I had nothing to do with his death. Oh, surely, boss, that is the furthest thing from hell. I tell you, I never believed in angels until I laid eyes on. Shall we gather at the river, the beautiful, the beautiful?
Gather with the saints at the river that flows by the throne of God.
Well, this is all very nice. Now, if you'd like to go home...
Not without Brother James Wilde. Then I would suggest you conclude.
You're not in a position to suggest anything. Now, please, move along.
I shall not.
Now, please, this will solve nothing.
Sir, I may not have been blessed with the bombast of James Wilde, but let me assure you, we will not move. Even if you trample these fine people with your horses.
Do we have enough to... Right, let him go. I'm not putting up with this palaver.
Thank you, friend. Oh, the sweet taste of freedom. Can you believe it? In prison for simply preaching.
Constable, please go and fetch Susan Mishkin.
Finally. I thought you were going to keep...
I assume you know this man?
All too well.
Travel here to Toronto with him?
No, I did not. He must have followed me.
You left him.
Yes. I thought I should before he...
Apparently, he had found God.
Sure he did. He found everything while he was high on the devil's dust.
Was a cocaine user?
Yes. It's the reason I spent half my life lying flat on my back.
We found an injection mark on Mr. Starker's body. Someone injected cocaine into his system.
Person would be Alfred.
Oh, I don't believe so. It would have been very difficult for him to reach.
He was probably just trying to hide it from me.
And you didn't believe him?
I'd seen Alfred turn over far too many leaves.
And you wanted to be rid of him.
Killing is a mortal sin. And I am done sinning. I'm born anew.
We may have to reconcile ourselves to the fact that Alfred Starker's death was an accident.
Those two are definitely con artists.
That doesn't make...
Seeing innocent people.
They're taking money from people who are giving it willingly.
After being fed false promises. Can get those two out of town.
They have as much right to be here as you.
Neither one of them is ordained by any church. They are selling lies. So you're going to do nothing about it. Good day.
Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in forever.
You seem a godly woman.
I am.
Then how can Wilde preach at your revivals?
He brings in the people.
Is that all that matters?
Of course, James believes in his own way and speaks in words the people understand.
He tells them that it's all right to sin.
How is that different than confession? We can all fall to temptation in the godly. Isn't that so?
It's up to the godly to resist temptation.
Then you are better than most mortal men, sir. James Wilde and I are simply doing our best and hope to those that will listen.
While they empty their pockets.
We simply pass the due. I'm sure Preacher James Wilde will be here any moment.
This ain't your normal night. Not for yours truly, no siree. And I must confess to a little case of the nerves. But you know what they say? And until he has the love of a good woman. And seems like I got that. So I'd like to introduce you all to my bride-to-be. Right. Come on up here, sweetheart. I'd like to invite you all to the ceremony. You never know what joy the day will bring.
Well, that solves that then. The two of them got together to kill her husband.
But we can't prove it.
It's as clear as day, isn't it? Oh. Brackenreed. Well, maybe not as clear as day.
Were there any witnesses?
Constables are still canvassing the area.
If you find anything else, Miss Hart.
Get off me!
Mr. Wilde.
My dear Sue.
That's enough. That's enough. I killed her.
You did?
Do what you want with me. I don't care.
I'm so sorry. That's enough. Come on. Stevens, take him to the station. That's that, Murdoch. Confession.
Makes no sense.
I'm no better than Paul. I thought I could save her and bring glory to God. But I...
Did you or did you not kill her?
My actions did.
Please, sir, you are facing your own death.
Sir? I have the cause of death. Well, cocaine.
I see. Thank you, Miss Hart. I'm charging you with 2 counts of murder. For the murder of Mrs. Sue Mishkin and her husband, Alfred Starker.
I did not kill Mr. Starker. I said I did not kill Mr. Starker.
Then who did?
I suspect Sue did. Free of him. She tried to run. He always followed.
Why should I believe you? And a con man.
Believe what you want of me, but you and I are the same. We both worship the Lord.
Again, did you kill her?
I did not. And I have no reason to lie. And we'll never enter the kingdom of heaven.
If you thought she did kill her, marry her.
Well, the moth cannot resist the flame, detect all I am. The moth.
And what did Sister George?
Not much, I expect.
That devil. But never doubt his power. Never doubt what he can do if you let your guard down. If the devil can, he can possess any one of you. James has forsaken us all for a woman of easy virtue. A harlot who has turned James away from God and taken him in her sinful arms.
She was found this morning. Our coroner believes she died last evening.
Just hours after her wedding. Shame.
It's been quite a shock for you to find out about James Wilde's wedding right on your stage.
That would still shock me.
You didn't look happy they were getting married.
I wasn't.
Either she or Mr. Wilde killed her husband so that they could be together.
And then,
Someone killed.
me.
He betrayed you, did he not? Turned your revival.
People in here. More people than I had ever seen before. James was my main attraction.
Your heart.
My heart belongs to the Lord and the Lord alone, Detective Murdoch. I have carnal feelings for James. Even acted on them on occasion. But he never had my heart. The Don River, I believe it's called.
For what reason?
Baptism. The arms of the Lord. For the last time.
For the last time.
With James gone, this revival will die.
I see. I would appreciate you not leaving Toronto until this matter is concluded.
Don't worry, Detective. I have no intention of pulling up stakes now. I'm going to start a new life. One without deception and spectacle.
How do you mean?
Mind. Joining one of your city's churches.
It was late.
Saw anything?
Sir. Perhaps
What do you have there?
Too small for finger marks.
Oh, we won't be needing finger marks, George.
I hear congratulations are in order. You have arrested that vile creature. You wanted to see me?
I did. I noticed that your cross is missing. Could this be it?
I suppose it could be.
Could be. Especially considering where it was found, right beside the dead body of Susan Mishkin. Read your latest church bulletin. I see here that Sister Mary Ellen is your new choir master. I suppose now that James Wilde is locked up, there were few places she could go.
Or perhaps a point to all of this?
Yes. You made your dislike of James Wilde quite broad, and half of your congregation left to follow him.
They were being deceived by a charlatan, an offensive one.
I also found this in your church office. Like the same substance that was used to kill Susan Mishkin. What were you doing with it?
A wolf dressed in sheep's clothing, taking people off the path and forcing them to worship him. He had to be stopped.
Susan Mishkin and Alfred Starker, and tried to pin it all on James Wilde.
I killed her. I didn't kill him. Besides, a harlot and her husband.
Maybe so. But that wasn't your decision to make.
Praise the Lord, free at last.
You were only in prison
an eternity. But being out here, I can feel the good Lord coming back to me, urging me not to give up on him.
And what of Sue Mishkin?
Well, I've been doing a lot of thinking and reflecting on that. And the way I see it, let the Lord enter her heart.
You've lost your pulpit, huh?
Oh, I'll find another. There's always a place for a man who's delivering.
You're doing.
You gonna tell me I'm not? I'm spreading the word of God far and wide to those who care to listen. You say you're a man of God. Well, then you should be doing the same as me. Well, there's plenty of souls need saving. If you believe, that's our job. Our duty is to proselytize, evangelize, and sanitize.
I know the team.
I'm proud of it. A horse ain't drinking water unless you lead him to it.
You see, that's where you're wrong. Hosty. If someone truly needs God, they'll find him. They don't need you getting involved.
Oh, hey there, brother. Have you got a moment to talk? It's a cruel place, this damnable old world, ain't it? Now, no, you don't have to answer right away, but let me tell you a little story. Story about a man beginning, but you know, he had to change it.
Bless me, Father, for I have sinned. It's been 90 days.
God is here to listen.
Bùm. Mài lớp đồ à? Mài lớp đồ à? Ui, sò lắm. Ta chia. Phải khỏi gì không? Lái. Hay 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 hay. Bùm, bùm, bùm. Má rồi cùi cái đi. Bùm. E làm gì đâu, e làm gì đâu. Bón bì mua để dát vô tí lấy bo ái mà. Càng mẹ thì đưa cho đồ cho ông kia nó tăng được thôi. Nó chiều lên dắt theo rồi nè. Tăng mẹ. Bùm. Ê. Ê. Catholic cũng được. Ây da, mẹ có khi thua bằng lầu này chứ. Ai mới đến mức có 56 rồi. Cụ trên tè. Má thua mẹ rồi. Hai. Tè 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 tè. Mà có cái bút rồng á. Bùng. Bùng. Ngon. Một con nữa thôi. Bùng. Chỉ cần một câu Sibenon nữa là 3. Lại cấp xá bỏ diện vô, cấp bả bỏ con Sijuni vô. Rồi. Bạn đúng sinh mình đẻ rồi. Mày làm gì đó? Mày làm gì đó? Đi với nó à? Mẹ em chưa to khó rồi. Chi